to this event. You know, there's been a lot of conversation, and so I'm considering this more of a transition celebration, and the transition to what is still a little bit uncertain. But as people living with cancer, I know that you're used to living with uncertainty. So even though we're going to hear a little bit more about what the hospital hopes to do moving forward, I'm going to be leaving, and Doris is going to be leaving, and James is going to be leaving, and Marina, where's Marina? Marina is staying on. And I just want to say that, you know, we are leaving to some extent. That is our choice, and so it's not that, you know, we were fired, because I think there's been a lot that's going on in the press, and I just want you to know that that was not the case. There obviously are changes moving forward, and I think the hospital will speak to what those changes are hoping to be. And we have Alyssa Cesari, who is the executive director of the Northern Region, which is Health Alliance and Mid-Hudson Regional, and Tom Scaglione, and Zahar, and some other folks. Dr. Carell, who is also, all these people are pretty new to me, and some new to the hospital as well. So at least Alyssa, I think, will come up and talk a little bit. But I do want to say that this is not really going to be a community forum. That's not what the intention of this event is. There are a lot of questions, there are a lot of feelings, there are a lot of, you know, there's a lot of uncertainty, as I said, and I'm hoping that Alyssa and Tom will create a forum, a community forum, so that some of those questions can be addressed, and so that the community can give input into what their needs are, because we all know that people living with cancer have significant needs and a need for support. So I just wanted to say that. I also want to, since I will be leaving, and today was my last day, and Doris's last day as well, and James's last day, I really wanted to just take this opportunity to speak to you and to express my gratitude. And so if you could just bear with me a little bit, I would like to have the time to do that. So I just do want to say that the magic of OSP really is all of you. OSP has really been a vehicle to bring you all together. So even though the structure of OSP might be changing and uncertain, I'm hoping that you as a community will find a way to stay connected. And I'm sure that the hospital will do what it can to ensure that as well. So there are some folks here, and we'll have them come up later, who have been really making an effort to make sure that there's some community efforts as well to stay connected, have support groups continue. So, you know, you'll be invited to come up and speak about what you've been doing. So, we have a lot of different people here. We have past staff, we have amazing past interns, we have, you know, program members who have been with us for many years, we have people who are new to our program. So I just want to start with some thank yous. First of all, you know, it's going to be kind of hard for me to get through this without crying, so, but I will really work on it. So first of all, I want to thank the amazing Barbara Sarah for founding this program 8 years ago. So when I was first hired, if you remember, I was hired by Doris and Barbara and Elise Lark, and I went in for my interview, and I was asked some really weird questions, like, what's your favorite movie? And it's like, Mary Poppins was Elise's. Anyway, but I really was concerned that, you know, Barbara wears a size 11 and a half shoe, and I have a 6 and a half size shoe, and I was really worried about stepping into her shoes. And what I realized is that I could never, ever step into Barbara's shoes, because she is a one in a zillion, and I thank her so much for, you know, starting this program, for infusing her spirit into this program while she was with us, and she is always in our hearts. Let's give her a hand. So I don't think I thanked her enough. I want to thank you, Doris. Yes, you. Doris was here before I was 15 years ago, and she has been, I was here, she has been here, as she puts it, a quarter of a century. She's been here a while, and you know, she's known by our whole community, and you know, her cheerful countenance, regardless of what I ask of her, you know, she's like cheerful with everybody, and I have so appreciated you over the years and for putting up with me for all these years.
Yeah. I treasured every moment.
Yeah, so we thank you, Doris. Let's give her a hand, okay? I also want to acknowledge some of the previous social workers and mental health counselors. Actually, Rosie was our first mental health counselor who was hired. Contrary to Barbara Sarah's commitment to only social workers. So, but she surprised us, and she was wonderful to have on board running our groups and our metastatic cancer support group, and you were amazing. Yeah. Elise Lark. Elise Lark was here before I was, and yeah, Elise. I can't begin to tell you the contribution Elise made to this community. You know, her deep wisdom, her commitment to people goes way, way beyond. And she ran so many different support groups. I think Barbara's, you're gonna actually mention some of those groups, but you know, she was a treasure, and has become a wonderful friend. So it's so great that you're here. Let's give her a hand. So we're also happy to see Valerie Lynette, who is another social worker who was with us for a number of years. And she was actually an intern with our program before she became a social worker, as was her husband, who was an intern as well, Jeff. So, which moves me to the intern piece. You know, we have always loved having social work and mental health counseling interns over the years, and they have added so much to our program with their unique talents, whether it was art or music or writing. You know, we've just had so many wonderful, talented people. So Brianna, there's Brianna. Brianna actually, she was with us, a mental health counseling intern, and she helped us create that beautiful table at the support house. So, and sang at our survivors event a number of years ago. So, you know, we've had such beautiful input from wonderful people in the community, and you know, we've really been a hub of that kind of creativity and giving. So, are there any other interns here? Oh, Sarah! Oh my goodness! Sarah Laughlin! Oh my God! Yeah. Sarah, yes, I think some of you have been fortunate to have Sarah as either somebody that you spoke to while you were here at OSP. You know, she has become an amazing therapist, as have all the social workers in our program and mental health counseling folks. They have amazing private practices, and so they're there for people who want to see them. But thank you, Sarah. Sarah ran the coping skills group with me for many years, even after she left. After she left her internship, we did the group together for a couple of years, which really does reflect the commitment that people have to one another and to this community. And then I just noticed that Sarah Urek is here, correct? Sarah Urek. So Sarah was the director of our program before I was and after Barbara was. And it's great to see you. And her partner, Rainbow, is here as well. So, I don't know if there are any other interns, but there are so many volunteers who have really given to this program and to this community over the years. And some of them are here today. You know, Ann Hutton, she facilitated our writing group for a number of years. You know, I can't even, I'm looking around, some people obviously didn't come, but I just want to thank them. Marilyn Fino, who ran our creative arts group for years. We've had incredible artists. Barbara, who did a photography workshop a number of years ago, remember that? Yeah. So, you know, we've had people in this community who have just, you know, it's just a magical thing. You know, I feel like there's some telepathy that happens. You know, I'll like be having a thought and then I'll get a phone call from somebody and they will say, you know, I'd really like to run a, you know, poetry workshop or, you know, some other kind of wonderful program. And it's just that kind of relationship that Oncology Support Program has always had with the community that has been so special. And it really is about people wanting to give and give back and really recognizing the need for people living with cancer, dealing with cancer, to have the support that they need and deserve. Because the medical profession can, you know, that may not have time for that kind of support, as wonderful as the doctors might be. So, you know, we, social workers, mental health counseling people, volunteers, have always offered that space for people to really give to one another, and it's been an incredible, magical gift. Oh, I forgot Kathy Sheldon. Me So Happy. Kathy Sheldon and her husband Al ran our cooking classes for years. Oh my God, and I forgot, oh, and Annie's there. Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. I'm looking around and I'm not seeing everybody. Annie, who is currently running a Tai Chi and writing group. We have Susan York, who did a wonderful art program for a little while. I mean, there's so many people. I did mention Ann Hutton. I did mention Ann Hutton. So, and if I missed you, it's not because I don't appreciate you. That's for sure. So, okay. So, I think when I was offered this job, I really kind of like jumped. I really was, wow, I know that I want this job 15 years ago. And I think that the reason I wanted this job was because I knew that I had so much to learn from all of you. And I think that the most important thing that I've learned is really how to listen and how to bear witness to your incredibly beautiful lives. I've really learned from you what helps people get through the toughest of times. I've learned that a meal, a ride, a food or a gas card, a hug, showing up with genuine caring goes a long way. I've learned from you about the healing that happens when people come together in groups. I watched with delight as you laughed together, as only peers can do. I watched as you held one another, as only peers can do. And I watched people become real friends to one another, really special friends. I've learned from you that even in the darkest of times, you can reach for hope and find hope, however you see hope, however you define hope. I've learned that even after tremendous loss, the loss of your energy, your livelihoods, the loss of your body parts, breast, prostate, ovaries, voice, tongue, you can find ways to recreate yourselves and thrive. I've witnessed you grieve the loss of your beloved friends, husband, wife, mother, grandparents. Cancer doesn't discriminate. I cried with you over heartbreaking losses that were untimely or just plain unfair. I witnessed you reach for joy and meaning in the midst of pain and loss. I watched you spin sorrow into gold. I've learned from you how precious life is and how important it is to treasure every moment. I've witnessed you face your own mortality and reach for the deepest healing that you could do in this lifetime in order to let go and surrender, as we all will need to do one day. For all that I witnessed and for all that I learned, I thank all of you. Your lives, your sharing, your giving, your pain, your joy, your laughter, your tears, your wisdom have been my gift. And all of you are forever in my heart, and you are the gift that keeps on giving. So no matter where I go in the next chapter of my life, I take you with me. So I thank you, my dear friends. My prayer to you, may you all be well, may you find joy, may you be free of suffering, may you know peace and love. And I thank you, and I bow to the light of each of you. Namaste.
It's going to be hard to follow that. But I just wanted to let you know it's been a fantastic quarter of a century for me. So many wonderful things happened during this time that I was at Ecology Support. Wonderful people, wonderful programs, and working with the best. Barbara Sarah Urich, Ellen Marshall, Ujula Schwartz, Susan Spadanuda, Gloria Kapolomersky, Elise Lark, Ariel Morris, Amber Rose, Myrna Capaldi, Pat Ernenwine, Rosie McLaughlin, Valerie Lynette, Jennifer Halpern, Dominic Paris, James Askin, Catherine Gleason, Marina Krupp, and many, many, many interns, and every OSP family member, you, that I met along the way. I've learned so much from all of you. Every one of you has made such a difference in my life and to our entire community. In every way, you have tremendously enriched it. What a journey. Thank you. OSP has touched thousands of people during these 30 years, and you have touched lives and made it better. Those who were involved in the women's, younger women's, men's, Lindian ovarian cancer, and metastatic caregiver support groups, coping skills, being mortal, living with advanced cancer, continuity of care support group, loss and bereavement, advanced directives, nurturing neighborhood network, teens, kid connection, support for couple facing cancer, and many, many more. We have had exercise groups to help maintain healthy movement. Yoga with Mary, then Jacob, Deb, Marianne, and Deidre. Tai Chi with Annie. Qigong with Jeff, then Betty. Qigong awareness through movement with Misha. Celeste also did Zumba Gold, laughter yoga with Jim, Pilates, and ribbon program with Elizabeth, Reiki, Smart Bells with Ujjwala and Angel, moving for life exercise for health with Florence and Dana and the rowing group. But I could go on and on, many, many more that have touched us. Many of you may remember those groups. Healing arts groups with Shelley, Ray, Marilyn H., Lindsay, Marina R., Marilyn F., and Bev. Ikemana, Japanese flower arrangement with Ken. Flower power with Karen. Creative fibers with Linda. Mandalas with Makiko. Watercolors made easy with Patty. Follow your heart and art card at the hospital with Ray. Oh, Ray. Calligraphy and painting with Charlotte, knitting with Bernadette, and creating the Healing Arbor with Susan are just a few. We had programs to help healthy eating and self-care, such as helping yourself to healing with puja, morning of self-care, boundless healing meditation with Maureen, smile meditation with Dr. Gary, healthy living group with Ujjwala, and Ujjwala's kitchen food demos, and making natural face creams with Ujjwala, the art of staying healthy with Ujjwala and Ellen, gardens for healing and a piano concert with Rob, music and imagery with Montserrat, electronic medicine with Nancy, making peace with your body with Melissa and Charisse, visions of hope with Nurit, and several photography workshops. Me So Happy Cooking Club with Kathy then Bettina, Healing Laughter Cafe, Cooking Through Cancer Treatment and Recovery, Healing Journey with Carolyn, Music Healing Circle, and many, many hosted memorials are just a few of the marvelous selection of programs that we had throughout the years. Poetry reading with Alexandra, What's Your Story? Workshop with Patty, songwriting with Jenny, authentic poetry with Jerice, visual journeying with Tona, and memoir writing one with Judith, Abigail, Carol, and Annie. Memoir writing work two with Anne, Carla, and Craig, and with exquisite readings, with handwriting on the wall at Ask, and several community readings that we enjoyed so fully. Living fully, also, with Boogie Night Dancing with Tara, Mind Body Awareness with Judy, One Light Healing Touch with Nancy, Mind Body Meditation with Maggie, and I know I'm just going on, but you need to hear these beautiful programs that we have done over the 30 years. Chinese Medicine with Jason, Living from the Soul with Tom, Hypnosis and Weight Control, and Smoking Sensation with Freda. Playback Theater with Sarah, Youth Tobacco Prevention Program, and the Integrative Complementary Medicine Group with Tara. These are just a few over the years, and it would take me hours to tell you all, so I'm not going to do that. They were large and fun events that many of you were at, such as Valentine for volunteers, the Cancer Survivors Day celebrations, holiday potluck celebrations, and do you remember Movie Mondays? Where I Live, Living Threads, and When Life Hands You Lemons. Those performances were an absolute treasure, and there were many more. I don't want to forget about all of our educational events. They were hosted by OSP, but educating us were doctors and RNs. Perspective on breast cancer survivorship, reading your pathology report, preparing for medical procedures, cancer in our environment, breast health A through Z, prostate cancer educational program, estate planning workshop, everything you wanted to know about funerals, but were afraid to ask. Living fully with illness, healing conversations, genetic issues of breast and ovarian cancer, lymphedema workshops, Chinese herbs and chemotherapy, navigating the system, advanced care planning, cancer and finances, estate and Medicaid planning, navigating the complexity of Medicare, and adapting to change. Calming the stress. Visioning for the future. And I'll stop right there. Visioning how the future will appear. Well, during this change, I want to tell everyone to always stay positive. Believe in your abilities and strengths. Take time and give yourself permission to heal and allow yourself to give and receive love. Be confident and believe in yourself. Be grateful. Spread your light wherever you go. And be at peace. I love you all. My love is given to you all, and you will always be in my heart forever and ever. Love you.
And that was not even
That's a lot of progress.
just a little bit of it.
Yeah, so thank you, Doris. I didn't know that we had that much, you know? But anyway, I kind of remember. Oh, hello. So, as I mentioned, you know, I was hoping that folks could come up and share, but as I mentioned before, you know, we do have some folks from the hospital who do want to share a little bit with you about, you know, visions moving forward. And we don't necessarily, come on up, Alyssa. Yeah. We could probably spend a lot of time asking questions, so I'm going to kind of cut us off if it gets a little bit too much, so that we can really invite people invite you guys to come up and share more, you know, what your experiences were, what you learned, you know, what you take away when you think about having been involved in our program for however many years. So this is Alyssa Cesari.
So I just want to start by thanking everyone for allowing me to come here and speak to you guys today. You know, first of all, the legacy that all of you have and the program. You guys can hear me? Okay. Okay. So first of all, thank you for allowing me to be here today. The legacy that this program and each of you have is really tremendous. And to Ellen and Doris and James, you'll always have a home at Health Alliance, so please know that. I want to start just a little bit personal, which I don't typically do, and share that wasn't anticipating this. I personally have been very impacted by cancer. My mom actually passed when she was 47 from cancer, and so I very intimately understand the impact that it has on not only patients but their families. And so on a personal level, it's something that's important to me. But more importantly, for the purposes of today, I want you to know that from our standpoint, from a Health Alliance standpoint, this program and maintaining it, in some ways it will be different, but maintaining this program is also important. And so today isn't necessarily about the hospital's vision, and happy at another time to have those conversations, but for the purposes of today, just want to share that for the avoidance of doubt, The support groups that have been happening will continue. The psychosocial visits by the social workers and those social work visits will also continue. And for right now, all of that will continue to happen out of the house. I think everyone knows we have a big vision for a healthy village on the Broadway campus, and really envision all of our outpatient and ambulatory services. So our new infusion center, which will be completed later this year, will be on that campus, outpatient oncology practice, and then eventually, once that's all done, we will bring this service to that location. So again, beautiful energy here, and I don't want to necessarily distract from that. Happy to answer some questions. Ellen, I don't know if you want to do that. Happy to answer some questions. And we'll be, I'm going to hand it over to some of my colleagues, but just want to share some of the folks, and I hope this shows the commitment that we have to really advancing oncology in this region. The one thing I didn't say either that we will be launching really pretty immediately is navigation services. And so Ellen, you mentioned going through the healthcare system is hard, and that's very true, even for folks who know it really well. The purpose of this clinical navigator is actually one point of contact for oncology patients to call for any of their needs. And so really excited to be launching that. With that, I'm going to turn it over to my colleague, Tom Scaglione, who runs community and government relations. But before I do, we'll just share Sahar Malik, who is the Senior Vice President at the WMC Health level over oncology services, is also here with us today. And then Dr. Shankar Kaura, who's the Chief Medical Officer for Health Alliance. Thank you again.
Thank you, Alyssa. Again, thank you for Ellen and everybody for inviting us to be here today. I mean, this is also special for us to hear all of these incredible stories. And again, just to make sure that people understand, this is personal to all of us, right? This is personal to everybody here. We've all been touched by cancer in one way or another. Alyssa just shared hers. Both of my parents, passed away by the time before I was 30, right? So ultimately, we've all been touched by this. And I just want to also share, I'm not some far off executive. I'm a Kingston resident. I live in Uptown. I'm over by GW with my family. This is personal to us too, right? We want to make sure that we have exceptional healthcare services here in Kingston at Health Alliance Hospital. And that also includes to what Alyssa said, which is also now looking at what we're envisioning for the medical village. So ultimately, I'm just going to put this down. So ultimately, really we want to ensure that we're actually hearing from you. We understand there might have been a little bit of fits and starts here with how things kind of came out. But ultimately, it doesn't take away from the legacy of OSP. It doesn't take away the legacy of the Bruner House and the Cancer Support House and the SAM and everybody that really fundamentally made impacts. A lot of that is going to continue, as Alyssa said. So if anything, what we're looking to do is we would like to hear from you. We're going to come out with a schedule of what this is going to look like, when things will start to shift. And ultimately, we'll have a mechanism by which where we can hear from the community, we can hear from you, we can hear from program participants what they would like to see, and then ultimately make sure that we're able to address that in the best manner forward. Because ultimately, we're all in this together, we're all in one community together, and we really want to make sure that we're all taking care of each other. So with that, happy to hand over to Sahar if you wanted to come up with one point.
I'm not very good at projecting my voice without a mic, so just to echo both what Alyssa and Tom have shared, and just to say that from the oncology standpoint across our entire network, we certainly honor the legacy that Ellen and the team have created for the community. I think this is as loud as I go. But just thank you to everyone who's here, and we're going to continue to support the program the ways that Alyssa and Tom have shared, and look forward to the growth that is in oncology.
I just want to say thank you all, and we're here for you. That's all I'll say. Thank you, and thank you for everything.
Yeah, and I really do appreciate moving forward, having some kind of a forum of vehicles so that, the community can really speak and, they know what they need. And so thank you for offering that in the future. So if anybody would like to come up and share anything, Kat.
Hello everyone, I'm Kat, and I put together some words to express how important and impactful the breast oncology support program has been for me. What has the oncology support program meant to me? There are over 8 billion people on this earth, and yet sometimes in life you find yourself feeling alone and afraid. Here in the Hudson Valley, we get to enjoy the richness of the earth, an abundance of land, water, and foliage that we learn to love and nurture. If you ask a member of the Oncology Support Program how they view this treasure, and they will be sure to tell you just how fortunate they are in their surroundings. But if you ask if they feel supported by just the land, they might hesitate. You see, here in the Hudson Valley, we value and recognize that the true value is not just in the land, but in the connections and communities who work together to cultivate, not just to exist, but to live, and to be a part of it all in a cycle that keeps on giving. Now imagine you are someone just given a cancer diagnosis with nowhere to turn and a deep-rooted fear. We might feel supported by family members, but we are rarely seen or understood. The oncology program provided a space where we could gather and feel at home, where we could laugh, cry, and even yell if we wanted to. It probably wouldn't have been possible without the care that Ellen, Doris, and Marina gave to the program. There is no way to wordsmith the beauty in these individuals that are deeply committed to the people that they serve. They did so with such love and care, and you had no choice but to feel seen, to have your voice lifted, but most importantly, to have hope. Hope that despite our diagnosis, there were others willing to carry our worries amongst their own and guide us throughout different treatments and resources that many do not know about. An opportunity like no other to come together and dream. Dream of a future even when deep inside you feel hopeless. You are allowed to show up as you are in whatever phase of the journey that you are, and in person or virtually. You are the gems of the Hudson Valley. I think I speak for everyone when I say thank you, truly. Today I am alive and I am present for myself and for my kids. If fate hadn't intervened, I would have been lost. I was guided right into the arms of Ellen, and she never let me go, as well as all the other friends I've had made here. If not for the Oncology Support Program, the beauty that is our homes, whether in Ulster, Dutchess, or Greene County, would have seemed a bit dimmer, because even in its abundance, it can be quite isolating. We are all here because in the end, we all want to just be seen, supported, and to just live, and to just keep fighting. Thank you.
Amazing. I'm Katie Mangan. Those of you who were here for the 25th anniversary Survivor event know me from that. I was the speaker there. If you were here for the 25th annual Survivor event, you know me. I gave the speech, and it largely centered on the impact that the OSP had on me. 2 years ago, I was diagnosed with breast cancer. Out of the blue. I'm sure you all feel that way when your diagnosis came. But I have never felt so alone in my life. And one of the things that my surgeon's office, Dr. Weinstein, did is before I left, her nurse insisted that I fill out the intake form for the OSP. I said, I don't know what to check off. I don't know. And she said, I'm going to check off the things you need.